directly.
Done.
So thank you again, Soundari and Neha, for taking out time and doing this for us, coming on the Mum Show, the Vidphone X Mum Show, which is in collaboration with Mothers United Movement, led by Shikha, of course. Neha, you obviously know Shikha and the wonderful work Shikha does. Shikha, Soundari was really interested and excited to know more about the work you do, and Neha did brief us a little, and then we just thought all the other details on the show itself. So I would just start by introducing Vidphone a little, the purpose behind this show, and Soundari and Neha, and hand it over to you, Shikha, to take it from there. So, welcome everyone again. Today is the seventh session of the Vidphone X Mum Show, and we are going to talk about why is brand building important for mompreneurs. We have two amazing moms with us, three amazing moms, one Shikha being my co-host, obviously, and two new moms on this platform, Neha and Soundari. Soundari is joining us from Hong Kong today, so thank you, Soundari, again for joining us so late. So again, the purpose behind why we are doing this is again because obviously for Shikha, she has created this amazing community of mothers and brought their stories to the limelight. And we at Vidphone, we have this amazing platform which we thought why not open up for mothers so that they can tell their stories their way. For us, again, the win is that to be able to inspire any mother out there through your stories today, and through your stories, your takeaways, your journey. Shikha and I are hopeful that when we reshare these, and whoever is viewing us today, they would be inspired somewhere. So that's why we are doing this. We hope to build this into a much bigger moment, get so many moms to this initiative. So please feel free to share it with all your other mom friends and their networks. And so yeah, excited for the session ahead and very eager to learn from all of you today. So to introduce Soundari Mukherjea is the CEO of Soundbites 11. She is also a business storytelling coach, an organizational consultant, branding strategist, speaker, and mentor. Soundari, so many hats you wear, and obviously, today you are here as a mom first, and really excited to hear about your story as we go along. Thank you for joining us. Next, we have our mom, Neha Mathur, who is the founder of the Missing Piece Image Consultancy. She's also a personal branding coach, image and a wardrobe consultant, and also etiquette coach. So a lot there too. Both our speakers wear a lot of hats today. And I know, Shikha, that Neha, Neha was just sharing how you guys have known each other since the last 6 years. And I'll wait for the behind the scenes stories of Neha from you, like I always say. And obviously, Soundari, we would be very excited to hear about your journey too, as Shikha goes in with her questions. So over to you, Shikha, and thank you again. Thank you all the viewers for joining us and who are viewing us live on all the social media channels too. Over to you, Shikha.
Thanks, Ayushree. So even if I don't know Soundari, I will extract. I'm very good at extracting stories, and I'm a pro now by meeting so many mums. And thank you so much for Vidphone, Jagat, Ayushree, for doing this consistently between the very very busy schedule. My messages come in odd time, and they're just like, should we do this woman change the topic? It's just, and they've been very supportive and excited and involved, and very emotional moments and happy moments have been shared on this platform. And then they go out to do these reels, whatever I ask them, they're just out there to do that. They really, of course, we are on their platform, but more than that, they're very passionate about sharing and very proud of the fact that we're talking about these issues on their platform. So definitely a shout out for them. And me in my short, I'm 42 years old, so 42 years, if I just have to just say in 5 lines. India's first baby and child photographer, brought that to this country 25 years back. From there, headed a poetry movement for 12 years, headed a printing unit for another similar time, 12 years, and photography. I was doing many things together. And started a health initiative, was in Bangalore for 6 years, then started the health initiative, got into health, went a little crazy with that, and that's how Neha was pointing out about why she was having Coke in the backstage. And from there, madness happened to the whole world with the lockdown, and here I was. I've been teaching photography, so I went on and then I got angry and I was like, I need to get inspired to get through this time. So I went ahead 100 days, 100 inspiring interviews of mothers across the world, found them continuously while raising a 4 month in my hand. I had a 4 month old baby, second one. And, between the night duties and breastfeeding, because I breastfed him for 2 years, 7 months, this whole project happened. So between the midnight stuff, and it happened because I knew some incredible mothers. Neha is part of the book. And I knew some incredible mothers, and I was learning from them. I wanted to give back to the world that I've learned. I've been around mothers for 25 years and been to the most intimate moments of having a baby and being with them, capturing their moments, talking to them. So the pulse is a very source related, very source oriented pulse. And I was meant to do this. That's the shortest I can tell you about. But if you tell me and give me the stage for 8 hours, I can go on and on about this because this is just so incredible. So now what we're doing is that we're going to different platforms, taking these moms, bringing more moms with just a little thing that it's not a march. We're not marching saying, give us our rights. We're not marching and saying, this is good or this is bad. All I'm saying is, I've brought 100 shades of mother, no shade better than the other. Each shade must be allowed to tell her story her way, and then launch into this world freely without any judgment and with the community saying, you're this shade, it's okay. You did well, right? Or if you need support, just pat on the back and say, and these conversations do that. Somewhere, some mother will tomorrow, because this is a permanent archive, we will be sharing it. And somewhere, some mother will look at it and say, okay, Neha did this way, Soundari did this way. That was what it is. And I learned it myself because I also have to pat my own back, because raising children is not an easy job. So having said that, and let's dive deep straight. And why I'm putting this context is because we have to keep reminding this concept to people that why are we talking about it? I'm always asked, why do you have to just like, like, yeah, that's what I am all about. So we have to hear about it. So Soundari, let's start from you. I will take on to Neha, and I'll take the liberty of letting her go second because you're a very close person to my heart. So I'm letting her go second. You're my guest first here. What's your mother journey? Give me the moment from time you become a mother to now. If you have to explain it in the like 7, 8, 10 lines, what's it been like? And just like, well, we take it from there.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, sounds amazing what you're doing and what you're all going through at the moment. So this is my first glimpse of what it is. So, I didn't do any research as
You don't need to. You don't need to. This is a mother doesn't need research. She's born to speak out of her experience. So we just don't allow her, and that's what Vidphone and other platforms are doing. Just go ahead and speak out of your heart.
Right. Yeah. So Ayushree was mentioning a new mom. So I'm probably the oldest in the lot. I have a 24-year-old and a 21-year-old. So definitely not a new mom in the sense. But I mean, the mom journey is new every time. There is
Yeah.
no playbook. There is no, one thing. Oh, okay. So my sister had her two kids before I had my first. We are just a year apart. And the first one, especially the first one, I was there right from when she went into the delivery room. And I was with him. I was lifting him and changing him and helping her breastfeed him and things like that. So I thought I had got my act. I have experience already, kind of thing. But then you have your kid, and it is a totally new ball game because the kid doesn't behave the way you think it'll behave. Oh, he used to drink this much ounces of milk. She's barely touching the milk. She's spitting it out. She's not drinking, whatever, all those kind of things. So they don't follow any playbook just to keep it exciting for you. And especially with my first, I was working till the last day, and my daughter had a couple of cords around her neck. But because she was so thin when she was born, luckily it didn't cause any distress. So I was put on a baby monitor, checking, while I was due to deliver and all that. So all that itself was a new experience because
Right.
it was not that you just went in and delivered the baby and came out kind of thing. So I think uh, one one thing of working till the last minute, and conveniently for a working mom, she was born on a Sunday. So Sunday evening baby, very good, well done. you know well, leave can start from Monday, kind of thing.
Right.
So it is very and then my son is 3 years younger, and and I think it was a very different journey because I was by then freelancing, and it definitely felt like, while I always am like, somebody was just talking about energizer bunny kind of a thing. I have always 100 projects going on at any point of time, and my husband's always asking me, I mean, are you feeling bored or something? I mean, why do you have so many things going on? And I just feel I need to do a little bit of a portfolio career at any point of time.
Right.
Thing. And I think with the kids, that's what happens. So the second one was a totally different ball game because one, you have your first, so you're very conscious that the older one is there and waiting, so younger one is too young, and you can you want to spend that time, you want to ensure the elder one is taken care of. And I remember this one incident, and I'll say that and I'll stop for now. When my son was newborn, my daughter is 3 years older to him. She was sitting on the bed with me one night when he woke up for a feed. And I told her, no, Kana, go to sleep. It's okay. And, one hand patting, one hand holding this kid. And she says, I want to stay up with you. You're up. And for some reason, that broke my heart. And it just makes you also very, very realistic and conscious of what a child may be going through. And I was amazed that she could articulate it and say that she wanted to be. My husband was sleeping somewhere, like, I mean, I was at home with my mom and he was sleeping somewhere, and things like that. And there was this little child who says she wants to hold your hand and be there with you. And I think these are the moments that define what motherhood is for me.
Right. No, it's beautiful, and this show just take you back to what we've forgotten, and it just passes so quickly. As recently, I was gifted a very beautiful sentence saying that parenting is temporary. Being a parent is permanent, but parenting is a temporary phase, and it just passes by like that. You don't become a parent after they're 15, 16. You can't be their parent. Like you are their parent, but you can't do parenting on them. And
They do parenting on you.
yeah,
For sure.
so it's a very temporary phase, but when we are in it, it's just forever phase for us. Like it's just like, oh my god, this is not going to end. Oh my god, this is just forever. And in between that, there are breaking down moments, the sweet moments. There are moments of some wins, somewhere we lose, and that's why this particular journey is a very intense journey. And all this in creation of somebody who's going to go ahead and get loose into the world and live the life they were meant to live, right? So just that parting itself becomes a very big task. The getting is a big task. The staying is a big task. But when it gets over, it's an emptiness for many of us that we feel. So it's what you just said, that these moments that come, and everybody has their own moment. Every shade, everybody realizes something or the other, and it is a learning chart for all of us. We learn so much about ourselves. We learn so much about listening, performing, so many other things, and that's why I always say that in the government form, the mother has to that's my next mission. I'm going to announce it very soon in the foundation called the Mum Foundation that I've created, saying that it can't be just corporate entrepreneur others. It has to be corporate entrepreneurs, mothers, others. It has to be ticked. The woman should be allowed to tick in the form that I'm a mother on mother duty right now with being an entrepreneur, by being a corporate woman, but I'm also a mother. She should be able to tick that very proudly, because then the considerations should change for her, because she's raising a next generation, and the society needs to come in, the government needs to come in and say she's an entrepreneur and a mother, or she's just a mother. If it's not just a mother, she's a mother, just like a category of mother. So Neha, on to you. Sorry, Soundari, you want to say something?
No, no, just to close. I mean, I think equally fathers should also be able to do that. And I think doing that mother thing, maybe giving license to a lot of dads who are hesitant and may not be able to say it, who want to do it. Definitely, as the generations go, things are changing. It gives them we can be the inspiration source for them to
Absolutely.
also be able to take that off.
Absolutely. And people always ask me, why not fathers? And all this question comes to me. I'm raised by a gorgeous father. I have a beautiful husband. I have two beautiful sons. But I'm standing up for mothers because I'm a mother. I can feel her heart. And I'm not saying, again, I said, it's not a march against somebody. It's the journey, initiation of mothers, their inspiration back to today's mom to say, I understand, and we 100 understand, and we 1,000 understand, what you're going through, and then we'll talk. There will be a project on fathers. My life will not be complete if I don't do a project on father, because I was raised by one of the most beautiful human on this earth, not because he's my father. He has been told by many people. But having said that, I became a mother, right? And the mother journey is where needs a lot of attention as well, because she's struggling today. She's struggling. Not that the support is not there, but she's struggling with a lot of confusion between her dream and her being a mom, and the physical body changes and the Instagram pressure and the social image issues. And I do self-portrait workshops to tell women to start expressing themselves in their pictures freely, broad shouldered, so that they just know that they are who they are. Not even the label of you're gorgeous, everybody's beautiful, nothing. I am who I am, and this is how I will show up, and this is who it is. And that's what I became after I became a mom. So that's what I'm standing up for. So yes, the father issue comes to me, and I think it's a message to me that stop talking about mothers and go on to fathers. So I will take that point as well soon, next year and a half, 2 years, I don't know when. Neha, let's go on to the story. You, mom, many things, and my dear friend is also a very emotionally heart-centered human, and very, very works with image consultancy. And we will go to Soundari, we'll go to the branding part and why we took this topic after this as a question. So Neha, your journey quickly as a mother, what happened, any moments like Soundari, just like it just gets highlighted. You don't forget something, like she doesn't forget her daughter's thing. So you don't forget. What is it? Let's talk about you being a mom and some stories out there.
Okay, so I'm a mother to a 16-year-old. Yeah, of course, Shikha, you've met my daughter. You know what she's all about, and she's a feisty young woman. For lack of a better word, she's a feisty young woman. From the day she was born, we've had our ups and downs. We've had our things, and any parenting journey, right? There have been days where I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing? I remember she was 9 months old and we moved to the US, and it was just me, my husband. We did not have any family, any support, where we moved to, and we did not know anyone in the city. So it was just like, what am I doing? What do I do with this little creature? you know, and being so far away from family, you can't just pick up the phone and say, Mama, what do I do? That I did not have that privilege. But yes, somehow managed to do well. The incident that I want to share, Shikha, I don't know if I've spoken to you about this before, but so I've suffered from slip disc. I've had 2 episodes of slip disc. The second time around, I was bedridden for almost 3 months. Um, when I recovered from that, of course, because of being on bed rest and stuff, right, I gained a lot of weight. And I remember we had gone for a holiday with with some of our family friends and their friends and our kids, to Uttarakhand for a trek. And I, of course, said that I can't be part of the trek. I'll stay at the base. You guys go trek and come back. Um, I thought it's a beautiful holiday for me. I get my me time. These guys get to do what they want. But day two of that trek, and these guys come back and they're all like excited with stories and bubbling and all of that. And all my daughter comes to me and says, Mama, I missed you. I wish you were there. And that just, even now I'm getting goosebumps. Even now I'm getting chills down my spine, because that was what changed things for me. And I'm not saying I am that dedicated towards my fitness maybe today, but that's what told me that, Neha, you have to get back into shape. You have to do whatever it takes to be there for your daughter. So that I did not want to hear that again from her. Right. So I started swimming. I started, well, almost for a year. And in Bangalore weather, you all have lived in Bangalore, swimming at 7:30, 8 in the morning, every day, no matter what. I will swim. I got my back strength. I had beautiful coaches supporting me, helping me strengthen my back. Um, and yes, I do fall off the fitness wagon, but the things that I'm able to do today, as an entrepreneur, or even the kind of fitness, I can run now. My doctor had very clearly told me, you cannot run, you should not be lifting weights. I lift weights, I run. I completed in 2020, I completed 100 kilometers walk, right, with a group of very close friends. And I think I was able to do all of that because of that one moment with my daughter, where she said, Mama, I wish. So the trek still hasn't happened. It is a pending in my to-do list. But because of her, I got started on my fitness journey, and I owe it to her. So, and there's so many moments almost on a daily basis, but that for me, I am grateful to her for saying that, because that just changed, that just put things in perspective and said, no, what you've got to get off your backside and get a move on in life. You cannot be missing out on these moments with your child. So yeah.
Absolutely. And they do that. Like there's just I have a 4-year-old and a 10-year-old, so I'm still a little in a very different zone. Still sleepless nights. In the nights, I'm scratch my leg, machhar, and put the thing, and I'm just like, how much can I scratch your leg in the middle of the night, man? Like how much can like my 4-year-old keeps making me scratch his leg with all the mosquitoes, and this is mosquito season, so you can imagine how I'm sitting at 12 o'clock in the night and scratching his legs because he's got mosquitoes, because he doesn't want to do it. And he's like, do it well. Last night he was just telling me, I think you did a good job in one of the legs. Now go to the next one. I was like, and then it's 2 o'clock at night, dude.
My 16-year-old still wakes me up in the middle of the night sometimes. Huh? I'm telling you.
I was just like, dude, it's like one leg done, second leg gone. Like, are you crazy? I need to sleep. So yeah, of course, we can just go on laughing about these moments. And between that, again, very privileged to be having inspiration in our life through our children. Privilege of having comfortable lives as well. Yes, our ups and downs and our mood swings and our learnings are there, and there are many who don't also have, and my heart goes on to them. And what we should, like, I get inspiration from the stories I've come up with of domestic violence, of molestation, and children not being safe in the container, cancer, and women going through so much. And many times when it gets tough and you're breaking down and you're just like, you just can't take one more step, and then you're like, what would she be doing? And that's the reason I did this project. I'm like, what would Therese be doing right now? What would she be doing right now if she was in my place? And I'm just like, my problem is just that much. And this is what she did. And that's how I did it in the interviews. I was like, oh my God, she went through so much. I can get through this. And recently, this story I tell everybody now, and why are stories important? Because we're going to go to the next question of branding. I will not talk more, and then I'll pass it on to Ayushree after the next question. But the story that why stories are important, and you guys must tell the best of what comes off your head, is because recently somebody's child had got hurt, and my neighbor had gone on her stage to tell about this book. And in that, I had mentioned that between this project at 75 mom, my son had got burnt badly. My 2-year-old had poured a whole cup of hot tea, boiling hot tea on his, like he pulled the tablecloth and he was burned. He was black. Like by the time I reached, I still get goosebumps. I heard his scream. I shut the laptop and ran, held him in my hand. Like, of course, I gave him first aid. And he was gone from his eye, like everything became black from one side, and I took off his t-shirt, his whole skin came off because his skin was attached to the t-shirt. He was 2 years old. And at that time, the mom guilt comes to you straight away. They're like, why are you doing this project? What were you doing? And how dare you leave a 2-year-old, though my mom-in-law was there, everybody was there, but how dare you do it? But I just picked him up without my slippers. I just rushed him to the hospital. And at that time, when I reached there, nobody takes the child away from me. It's a rule, even in my cesarean. You don't take my child anywhere without my permission. That's like a clear. Everybody hated me that I said my child comes next to me. My child gets only injected when I tell you. My child only gets tested what I tell you, because my instincts know when my child is okay or not. So I was telling this story in that event, and I went to the hospital, and he was holding me and he's screaming away, though my first aid helped him, and of course he's recovered now. But at that time it looked like red, black, blue, it's like 2-year-old screaming away, can't do anything. And the doctor said, give the child to us and leave. I said, I don't leave. I don't give my child to you. He's already a pandemic kid who hates strangers to the core. And giving you 6 people to hold him, I'm not leaving. They're like, you'll not be able to see what we're going to do. I said, you'll not see a tear drop in my eye. And
Get up.
I can't give you
I'm
an interview.
putting water here.
I'm doing an interview. This is allowed in my
Get
show.
up. Get up, please.
Okay.
Yes. Guys, get up.
Okay, go. We can't go. Okay. See, these aunties are so. See. No. We have to go now. Come on. So you're getting a live. You're getting a live.
He knew you were talking about him, so he had to make an
Yeah.
appearance, and we had to see that he's okay now.
Nobody goes. Everybody
So,
goes down. I don't go down. So anyway, I was. We all have to go down. We can't see so many aunties. Can you say hi to them?
hello, hi there.
You can't prank me in the middle of my life. Come on. He wants to prank me. So you go and prank Daddy. Go Daddy, go prank Daddy. That's a great idea. Yes, he's gone. So,
Dadi
so
is thanking you so much.
so I bring this, like, I don't shut my doors because I bring this life of mothers in my life. That's how it should be. Because this is part of you, right? It should not be ashamed of, which many people try to say, oh my God, how unprofessional. I'm like, this is totally professional. I'm a mother with that tick mark on the box. I'm raising a child. So anyway, when I held that child and I was telling them when the doctors took me and 6 people were working on him because he was very wild at that time, I said, not a tear will come out of my eyes. Recently, my neighbor's kid had fallen and she was hysterical. So she called me and she's like, what do I do? And she had hosted me in her event. And I said, okay, calm down. Bleeding, no bleeding. Okay, run. This is what you do. She reached there and she sends me a message. Thank you for your story. There's not a teardrop on my eye. I can control, and I'm inside with my child when they told me to leave. And that's why these stories are important. This is not to praise my bravery. This is the courage to give through your stories to others. And all of us have these stories, and that's why these stories are very important. And this pranking and all is important to show up with videos. Can you imagine what I go through? He's saying, I want to prank you in the middle of it. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters to him. So Soundari, let's go. And the reason we must tell your stories, like, take out your bank of the stories, like, whatever is it, like, throw it out, because we are going to make reels out of it. And not now, later, once the show ends, we will just keep rotating this. So this is a situation, a mompreneur, and this question goes to Soundari, is she's there, chocolate business, baking business, little classes, little coaching. There are many of us who are trying to live our dreams, sometimes because we need money and sometimes we just need to dream. We're just like done with this everyday thing. And then she tries to do it just like that and not taken seriously in the world, because then they're like, oh, she's just one of the mothers who's just doing one of the things. So let's support her, poor her. Like sometimes like that's the look they have, because she's not come up with her branding, she's not come up with her colors, whatever. So you're about storytelling and mixing it up, and she's about showing up. Neha is totally about showing up. So Neha, just talk about how important it is to show up, what can help them to show up. And Soundari, how can they brand, like what is important and why must they do that? Why must they say not just a chocolate business, a fabulous chocolate business? So it's yours.
No,
Major.
absolutely. I think one, even as a definitional word, and I'm sure you might have done it right at the beginning of your Vidphone series or whatever, is like it is moms who double up as entrepreneurs who still have the primary caregiving role. And I think that is the crucial thing. I mean,
Right.
I'm not, to be honest, I'm not a big one for saying mompreneur or what dadpreneur or whatever it is. It's an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs have it tough, whatever line of work you are and whatever you do. So I'm not the one for distinction. But in this specific case, I want to define it as somebody who still has primary caregiving role, who's also double hatting as an entrepreneur, who wants to build a successful company.
Right.
Various motivations. I again don't want to ascribe motivations. Each of us will have a different motivation as to why we are doing it. Oh, I love baking, so I want to bring it to the world. That could be a motivation.
Right.
I have to do something. I'm going stir crazy dealing with these kids. That could be a very big motivation. Uh, I did my MBA. I wanted to study all this. I wanted to be in corporate. I didn't think my life would take this turn, but I'm getting this wonderful opportunity to redefine myself, and I'm going to grab it with my 2 hands and 2 legs and everything else that goes with it, kind of thing.
Right.
So I think motivations are different, but each of us have that drive that takes us through. And I want to focus on the drive leg rather than just as, oh, I'm a mom who's also doing this. That could be a story. And I think when you shift tracks from being one to another, even when you shift jobs, let's say
Right.
you work with XYZ and you go to ABC, you need to really redefine and reintroduce your new avatar.
Absolutely.
And that is where the brand part of it also comes in. Say, just for example, Shikha and Neha, you knew each other as friends. Now Neha starts a new venture. You're still going to think Neha is your friend. Neha who did that. That's the top of the mind recall for you. So
Right.
your Neha needs to then build a brand thinking about, oh, Shika knows me as that. In the past, I used to do this, and then I came across this opportunity. So I now do this so
Right.
that the world can feel this and benefit and the business will grow. So that is the reintroduction that she will do with you. And that is the brand building, and that is the story where it comes in. What tends to happen, especially with small business owners, of course, is that you're conceptualizing a design of a thing or whatever. You're writing your letter, you're stuffing it into the envelope yourself, you're licking the envelope, you're licking the stamp, you're posting it, and then you're calling to say, have you got my letter? You are doing way too much. So you don't have time at that start stage to think about, oh my God, what is my brand? What do I need to do? What are my brand values? What's my billboard statement? Who can I go and talk about to? Who's my audience? How do I reach out to them? No, I'm so caught in the doing
Right.
of that moment. And especially for small business owners, you're going to think about costs. That's like too much top on your mind. So you're saying, no, 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 I can't employ a resource now. I'll do it all myself. And therein also lies the trap about where brand building then tends to take a back seat. So
Right.
if you think of yourself or your company as any brand that you know, favorite brands, think of your Apple, think of your, Tesla, think of any brand that calls out to you. Think of ID Foods, though I don't like the butter stick that they've brought out, whatever it is. But think of anything that you are your brand. You are the CEO of Me Limited. How you navigate it, how you show it, how you drive it is going to be what people are going to see you as. So that's where, what is your backstory? Why did I? And ID actually does a great job of those backstories about why they come up with these products and all that. So you're your brand. And like, I think the Jeff Bezos thing, your brand is what people tell about you when you're not in the room. I just want to spin it a bit and say your brand is the stories people talk about you when you're not in the room. So build those stories, the brand will build.
Right. And beautifully said, because the introduction is very important part as well for mothers many times, because we all are trying to do our best and some slip offs happen, and then we get into these the entrepreneurial journey. And I like the fact that you said that reintroduction is very important to your, especially to your own people, because your own circle is the one circle that will either recommend you or take you up, or by just saying that I don't think so, it's meant for you. Because sometimes the avatars are so opposite of what, like she's saying, that from somebody who never exercised. Like if I became a swimmer today, like there would be like, oh, no, I'm a swimmer. But if I became actually participated in an athlete competition, people would be just like, that's not an avatar that Shikha can do. And that's what starts rotating as a story. And then,
I
so I
mean,
love the part that you
yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I say that for myself. So I did accounting all my life. I filled books with T accounts as I grew up, and that's all my life was. I did my
Telling
MBA in
stories.
finance.
Yeah.
So it is, so I always say that, and then I moved to the human side of things. So I always say that I have two characters on my two shoulders. One is the accountant and one is the human. One is the devil and the angel, and I'll not tell you which is which. And that's the shift that has happened, moving to the human side of business. So we need to own what we've done. All our avatars is us. We
Right.
are not just one or the other. We are all of it. But we may also take and introduce one bit depending upon the context and the audience. Somebody who may be looking for, who's looking for coaching will hear about me as a coach, rather than necessarily more on the consulting and the culture change aspect or the DNI aspect. I teach at a few universities. I will highlight that I'm a visiting faculty if I think that's the line I want to. So it is constant reintroduction and
Absolutely.
constant reintroduction of a specific aspect.
Yeah, and it's a great thing to hear from moms who are hearing it, because that's again the association with who we are. Like I'm a photographer is my association. People know me as a photographer, but they can never think I'll be like hosting shows and coming up with a book. And so it's a great valid point of the reintroduction, and that should be incorporated every time. And because we are talking specifically to mothers here, and for a mother to even reintroducing herself that she's only a mom or she's only a this and all that stories need to get changed. And then I like the fact that those become your brand recalls more than your the work that you do on your logos and on your colors and all that stuff that you're doing. And that's beautiful. So it's really an amazing point, Soundari. So Neha's like, so this is like part of your business, Neha. Now, what Neha can make you feel like you're the most perfect human being in this world. So when she comes up to you and she says, "Oh, like with me, I have many women around Neha as well who will come and dress me up. Like people just like to dress me up all the time because she's not going to dress up. She's going to just like come up like this. Even in my event, to the extent that I was sent a sari which I didn't want to wear. I didn't even have the liberty to wear the stuff that I wanted to wear because there was a sari sent by my friend from Cincinnati which said "Ma" in 3 languages. I'm like, I'm not wearing a sari. I'm not a sari person. Please don't send me a sari. And then so like this says "Ma" and you have to wear it. And then just at the time, I had some designer mom in the book coming and putting jewelry on me. Somebody was doing something. Somebody was giving her heels to me, which got broken in the middle of the event. But that's me. But what happens is when you meet people with so much love who just take you like a tribal girl and say, "This is our child. She's going on the stage. We'll dress her up." Neha's like that. Whoever with her clients I see very involved, she'll go and she'll shop for you and she'll say, "Oh, it's not your problem that it doesn't look nice. It's just not you." And then she will bring that in you, who you are, as one of her things. And I'm sure there are a lot of reintroductions needed because I'm talking to her after some time, after what Soundari said. So now over to you, starting from the fact that how much love is needed, especially to the moms, to come back to have that image, of I'm gorgeous, I'm beautiful, I'm who I am. This is what it is, and how like what's that journey about? And now, please reintroduce me because now Sandri has taught me. I'll keep asking all the mothers to keep reintroducing themselves all the time.
Thank you, Shikha. And thank you, Soundari, for highlighting that aspect of the reintroduction. I completely agree because we are also evolving, right? We're I mean, who I was yesterday, I'm not the same person today. So
I'm glad. Otherwise, there's no growth.
yeah, it's boring otherwise,
Absolutely.
right? So Shikha, taking from what you're saying, right? Loving yourself, saying this is the way I am. Um, and you've heard me say this word over and over again. That's my North Star. That's what the missing piece is, the foundation of missing piece is, which is acceptance of who I am, the way I am. First, acceptance of self, then we go to the others, right? So the way I am, whatever way my body is, whatever way my hair color is, whatever way my hair texture is, I am enough. This is the way I am. I love myself. And it's not an easy journey, right? It's all easy to say it. It's all easy to say it, but it's a process because again, there's so much of conditioning, right? I'll give you my own example. I've for the longest time, and you've seen this, Shikha. I've always used to straighten my hair because I used to hate how my hair was. Until one day I was like, "Bas ho gaya, ab aur nahi." And then now the texture that I have, and people are like, "My God, how much time do you spend in the parlor?" And trust me, I do not even blow dry my hair. This is my natural texture and I love it, right? So it's a journey for everyone. It's a journey. So first, accept yourself for the way you are and then start showing up as that, because that is where the authenticity actually comes out. Because if we are hiding behind a mask, if we're trying to be somebody that we are not, um, people read that. We are all very smart. The human beings are very, very intelligent. We read on to these small cues where if someone is not being their true self, like Shikha being in a sari, we know she's not comfortable. Of course we know her close enough, but even a person who's meeting her for the first time will look at her and say, this is not who she is, right? So be authentic, be yourself. If that means, and I've worked with so many women. I've been blessed to work with I have a lot of women clients, and all some of them at very high corporate positions, right? And one of the interactions I had with very early on with one of my clients, and she said, Neha, I love wearing saris to work, but because of the corporate setup, this is what I have to wear: suits, business suits, and Western attire. And I'm like, no way. If you are comfortable in a sari, wear a sari, rock a sari. What's wrong in that? right? So understanding what is it that I believe in, what is it that I want the world to see me as, and then showcasing that to the world. And that's where your story also comes in, because who you are is a part, but the experiences, right, what Chandri spoke about, all the experiences, we are the sum total of the experiences we have day in and day out. So if we show that to the world, if we show our vulnerable selves also to the world, I don't think there's anything wrong in that.
I need some help.
Okay, one
I
second. This
bring
keeps
a big
speaking.
basket.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what the whole thing is, right? So just accepting who I am as an individual, as a person, not hesitating to showcase first that to myself and then let the world see it. Because however we are, whatever shape, size, color, we're all beautiful the way we are. And once the world sees that, and once the world sees because once you accept yourself, the confidence with which you carry yourself is completely different. And that confidence, when it radiates onto the world as an entrepreneur, they will want to associate with you. Your audience will want to work with you. They will want to know more about you. Because yes, you have a product, yes, you have a service to sell, but people are not really buying that. They work with you, they buy from you because they like you. the
Yeah.
the the justification, the logical justification, I'm sure Chaudhary you agree that logical justification happens later. First it's an emotional decision. Emotional decision is based on how authentic you are in the way you are presenting yourself.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And I will give the. Ayushri just wondering, ये third question start na kar de because just
No.
stopping you. But I'm giving it to you, Ayushri. But and I truly I do self-portrait workshops just for this reason. I can walk into a corporate just wearing pajamas and go and give a speaker's event, and people have still accepted me. And I've gone in my like I love to dress up, guys. Like this, my reputation is not that I don't like to get dressed up. I'd absolutely dress up, but in my own way, in my Fabinda stuff and everything. But what matters is your aura and the carrying of your thing in your confidence is that cracks up. You some like people like Abida Parveen can come, shaking her head onto the stage, and the people can go mad totally. Not judging her with what she's wearing, what is she doing. She will just come like crazy sometimes, just holding her head and just going shake, 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 and people go mad because they just love her songs and they just love her spirit and her because she's expressing herself so authentically that this is who I am. And there are a lot of I'm actually have some mothers also who keep calling me and saying that my authenticity people don't like it. I said, who cares? But there is a shade somewhere. Keep showing up with your authentic self and you will find your shade. There is no shame in showing up like your own shade. The problem is the other way around. You will never get clients, you will never get anything because you'll just keep trying to be somebody else, and like Neha said, it'll show, or more than that, it'll radiate that way. And people don't like pinpoint and say, oh, she's not authentic. People say there's something off. I don't know what it is. There's something off. I,
That's
I,
correct.
I like what she's doing, but there's something off. And that off is the shrinking. That off is not feeling worthy. That off is I'm not enough. And that is the off part that spoils your brand, your relationship, and also stops you from showing up because you can also see in other person's eye that they're thinking something is off with you. They're like, oh, they don't like me. I should not do this. And then, we just in this whole thing just stuck for like years and never show up for our dream. So
May
rather,
I? Yeah.
yeah, yes, sorry.
A sari
I will
story
not
because
speak.
we've talked
Ayushri.
sari and stories.
Yeah.
So when I was working in ANZ, and this back in the 90s, mid 90s, I was heading up branches and I was 25. And a lot of the branches, the customers, the clients that you would go and meet were middle aged old men. And so you could wear a, I wasn't at that time into wearing dresses and skirts. I would wear a salwar or I'd wear trousers and all that, but skirt was for me at the time very casual wear kind of thing. So I realized that for some of the meetings, especially when I was going to go and talk authentically or confidently about the trade that I was in, I would wear a sari and go. And that gave me that sense of confidence and pride of, owning it and wearing it. I was very comfortable wearing a sari. I wore saris pretty early in life. I hated the half sari, what it's called the half sari in South India. I hated it. And so I just said, sari is it. I'm going to wear saris. And So I was very comfortable with it. But I think sometimes, and Neha's the image consultant, I have no sense of, I do my own fashion, which I think is fashion. So I'm very happy with that. But I think sometimes owning and taking something, and while it may be a security blanket, it may be a prop, it may be that, it gives you the confidence to go and direct. And also to prevent certain things blocking your progress. Now, if I had gone in a skirt to the client would have had to have worked so much harder. I would have had to have worked so much harder to reach to the point of them trusting me and building on that. So I think some of this, there are props that are, it's okay, whether it's yourself or not. No need to second guess, as long as also some business outcomes are driven through that.
That's a great point. But also, I've worked with a lot of women, Soundari, on self like their breakdowns of women thinking that, like, even the wearing part is such a big part in people's life. Like Neha deals with it all the time, that I have to wear it, or because, like you just said, business prop, that itself becomes a pressure. It's not very casual. You have to just overcome so much to say it's just a business prop, wear it and just get over it. Like for me, I was just like, because I was so crazy on the stage at that time, I was like, make me wear a red sari, I don't care, I'll just go. It's because it had it had emotions, it had everything, right? Or you're making me wear jewelry, it's okay. Though I am the most comfortable in wearing my salwar coat, my beautiful dupatta, my earrings, that's me. Even it happened, I think, in Bangalore, Vicky event, Neha. Like I wanted to wear my dupatta. And here comes the designer and says, no, you're promoting the special needs children's work. Here you wear that. She makes me wear this very wild thing on top of my kurta. And I'm standing there and I'm like, okay, for the sake of the prop that you just said, for the going on stage to help the special needs children, all of us wore what she was making us wear, right? Because we were promoting the special needs children's work on her work, and she's one of the moms. So yes, absolutely, you have to change, but that first comes from the fact, no matter what I'll wear, I'll look okay. Like it's just a business prop. So you have to reach there, and many of us need very lot of support to just reach there. कि कुछ नहीं है, इतना बड़ी बात नहीं है, not a big deal. Yeah, just don't go crazy if you have to wear a thing or that. But बहुत confidence, it's too much. It needs. Sometimes people just get stuck. No, it has to be this way, and that's my shield towards this, and otherwise, no way. So that's a great point. They're just bringing us some great new points. So that's amazing. Thanks for contributing that. And Neha, I will let Ayushree take over, and Ayushree can, I'll give you the opportunity to talk. But before I wrap up my questions, it's just beautiful to know how important stories are. And the learning today, I think, would be Soundari telling us the reintroduction. It's a very valid point for moms. And for Neha to know that what is off on the other side, the energetics of the fact that the confidence is off, and should I trust her or not, or him or her, with the lack of confidence. This could be just we are very conscious and not anything to do with their talents. So Neha, Ayushree, over to you. I can talk for 4 hours to this women. Over to you for your question, and we can wrap it up.
Thank you, Shikha. Thank you, Shikha. It has been lovely listening to you, Neha and Soundari. Soundari and Neha, thank you so much for sharing your stories. So, Soundari and Neha, I have my last question for you guys, which the idea of this is also for you both to leave us with, 3 tips, from each of you, 3 tips as mums to other mums. You both have different journeys. And like you said, Sondri, obviously you have a 24-year-old, so you are not a new mom. So and you have seen the journey, and Neha also. So both your journeys would have different things. So please do share. It can be about our topic today, which is brand building. For moms, but also it can be something general that you want to share. But we would just request that you keep it short, because we want to put this out as shorter reels, that we can share it across and across. So please feel free to share. Sondri, you first.
Okay. No, when we were growing up, my my mother's mother lived with us, and my mother had 2 of us, my sister and I. We are just a year apart. So my mom was a working mom. She worked in LIC all her life, and she would come back tired from work, and the kids would be there. And while she loved spending time with us, there'll be days and challenging days. So she'd go and tell her mom, "No, this is crazy. When will they ever grow up?" And this is like when we are 2 and 3. And my grandma would tell her, just wait, next year it'll be different. What she will not tell her is that it'll be a new challenge that's coming. So while I have my 24 under 21, I mean, you learn and you grow, and they hold the best mirror for you. Oh my god, that is shit, you guys, you have designed it this way, those fonts don't match, those colors don't do. I mean, they are your best and worst critics.
Right.
But they're also amazing, especially when they are at a certain age. Because when, like, I just launched my website just a few months back after doing the work for 20 years, finally decided to put it all together like a placeholder kind of thing in a website. And my two nephews, my sister's two kids, and my two kids really cleaned it out for me. The website designer was there. There was a designer, there was a coder, every developer, everybody was there, but they cleaned it up for me. And so I think grow with your kids, encourage them, take them along. That's one. And I think from a business point of view, the secret to success when you're building a business and raising a family is to define your success in your own terms. I mean, people will keep telling you things like, you can't have it all and all that. I don't even say have it all, do it. Nobody can have it all. Men can't have it all, women can't have it all, nobody can have it all. So I don't even go on the have it all thing. You can't do it all. So you need to find the resources that can help you do it. You need to let go of sometimes and say, shit, that's it. This all will happen. There's nothing more I can do. Stop beating yourself about that thing that I will do it all. There's nobody who will do it all. And the third, and I think important thing, is to be honest with yourself about what you want from your business. If you're wanting to build a multi-billion-dollar business, then you need to put in the multi-billion-dollar effort, and you need to really dream big, scale big, and all that. Otherwise, and it's fine if you don't want that, also just be honest about what you want from your business, and also be honest about what you're willing to give up to get it. I think that whole thing also about, I mean, it reflects in a lot of different ways where Neha talking about, really being authentic to yourself. This is the authenticity from a business point of view. Be very clear about your why you started it, why you're doing it. It could be just to fill your cup. You're tired that nobody's taking you serious. You want to fill your cup. Great reason. Go ahead and do it. But just reflect that mirror to yourself, bring that honesty, and that will help you really define your success the way you want to and take it ahead.
Thanks, Saundari. Thank you for those lovely key points. Over to you, Neha. And between that, I would just like to, say one thing that Shikha has a beautiful book that, I think all mothers must read. Shikha, please feel free to share the link. We
Oh
have,
yeah, I just pulled it out from Amazon because there's some issues coming up. So
yes, because the,
you
please,
can just message me directly and I can send that book. Anybody needs
done.
that. At the moment, I'm doing that because I'm reintroducing the whole Amazon thing again for the global launch.
Okay, done. Or we'll reach out to whoever has joined us today. So please do let us know, and we can, connect to Shikha and get that. Over to you, Neha, for your 3 tips.
All right. So, Chandri, loved your tips. Exactly what I was thinking. So now I have to think a little extra. So, thank you for pushing me to think a little more. Right. So, for me, I think as a woman, as a mother, as an entrepreneur, what is very very important is to have my own. I call it my own personal board of directors or my own cheerleaders, right? My set of people who have my back no matter what. It could be your family, it could be your friends, it could be your cousins, whoever it is. And I would say, again, that's my perspective, to each his own or her own. Keep the circle small, right? Keep it a tight circle. And this is the board of directors that you go to when you are happy, when you are frustrated with yourself, when you want to kick in the butt, because we all need that from time to time. I have two beautiful friends who literally whip me when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So, they have a seat at my table, right? So make sure you have and pick those people. Take your time to pick the right people. And if somebody is not serving the purpose, do not hesitate to let go also, because sometimes we do not, we hold on ki, Arey, nahi, it's been a relationship for so many years in the making. But if it's not serving the purpose that that it should be, that relationship, it's okay to let go also. So be very, very mindful and very careful of who you call your personal cheerleaders or your personal board of directors. That's number one. Entrepreneur, not every woman should have that, I personally feel, right? Second, as an entrepreneur, yes, we set goals, yes, we, and set whatever goals you want to set. You want to set small goals, you want to set big goals, that's your journey, that's your call. But you know what, celebrate every small win that you have. Because as women, I think we are very harsh on ourselves. We are like, oh, ye nahi ho raha hai, wo nahi ho raha hai. But there's so much more that's also happening for us, right? Yes, maybe we have not achieved the target for the month, but I did put an effort. So pat yourself on the back a lot more than you criticize yourself. Because you, yes, you need those cheerleaders, but become your own cheerleader first, right? So that's point number two. Celebrate every small win, be it on a weekly basis, be it on a monthly basis, however, celebrate. Oh, I did this, wow. And tell your board of directors, they will cheer for you also, right? So it just kind of multiplies and it gives you that energy boost. And the third thing is, I think, and again, fitness is a very uh, wide term. But being fit, whatever that means for you, if it means just getting 30 minutes of meditation and yoga, whether it's running, whether it's exercising, whether it's whatever, swimming, not swimming, just walking your dog, whatever it is, be active, be constantly moving, because that is your time. That is your time. And trust me, that is when your brain is working. We may say that, oh, I've disconnected with the world and I'm not thinking about anything and all of that, but that is when the ideas happen. At least for me, that is when the ideas happen. So you know what, I'm getting my workout in, yet I'm getting new ideas in my head. So it's a win-win in every way, right? So yeah, those three things for me, I think are very, very important. And yes, there's a lot more, but if we do these three things as women, as mothers, everything just kind of falls into place. And sometimes it doesn't, but it's okay, pick up and move again. That's life, that's part of the journey.
No, thank you so much, Neha and Saundari. I think so lovely. You both have summarized the points, and really helped Shikha and me to uh, reshare, which I have been telling since the beginning, because I think, it's so important to put your learnings and your stories out there, right? So that others are inspired. I mean, this whole show is because of that. So thanks a lot. I think with that, we come to the end of today's beautiful, beautiful conversation. Saundari, I realize it's pretty late in Hong Kong, but thank you again for taking out time and joining us. I'd actually enabled the raise hand for all the wonderful people who have joined us here on the platform. So, you have the option of coming on video and either sharing your story. We can let you in live or ask a question. But I think there are no questions. And Shikha, from next time, we must ask the moms who view us live also, like who are on the platform also, to come share their stories, and little stories maybe.
Yeah, let's do that. And let's be. It was a very
Yes,
quick 1 hour. I'm giving it like 40. It's a very quick 1 hour. So that definitely a very, very enlightening, a very, very beautiful conversation. Thank you so
yes,
much for just showing up the way you both are. And I can all,
yes,
the minute this whole came, all like the whole four screen, I'm a visual person. It was a very, very bright screen. And I knew that all like this is going to be a very bright conversation. So
yes,
thank you
yes,
for being so bright in so many people's lives and making a difference in the way you guys are.
yes,
And you just are beautiful. And we'll connect. We'll get to know more. I'm coming to Bangalore. We'll do same.
yes. You must come
I am
soon.
coming today only. I've announced I would be spending the first year celebration of the book in
Oh,
Bangalore.
wonderful,
13th.
Ooh, yay.
wonderful.
Many things are coming up, and
Yes,
so 13th, because maximum moms are from Bangalore. There are 20 of them, so I have to be in person with these moms to celebrate this book.
yeah, yeah.
So I'll be there doing many
Surely,
things. Yeah.
surely. Thanks, Shikha. It's been really lovely. Thank you for getting all the wonderful moms to the platform, and thank you all who have joined us. There are a few who had to leave, but thanks Prajakta, Kanchan, Roshni, Bhavna, Chandni, and everyone who's viewing us live. I would just like to let you all know that the recording would be available on the same link as soon as we are done with exit the webinar. The recording would be available on the same link. So please feel free to share it across your networks. Like we had said, we would be sharing a lot of clips with you, smaller clips. We would be tagging you on LinkedIn, Facebook. Please do reshare them. And, and do keep joining our mom show. This is the 7th one. We have a few more to go. We are doing a 12 session. Our first series is a 12 session. So we have more amazing moms coming. And your, Soundari, Neha, your support and putting it out in your networks would mean a lot to us.